know what? Whose time am I on? Because I clocked 30, I did die.
Yeah. And they said,
Okay. There was no one behind me. Shame, because you haven't accomplished what you said. I said, please, what is that?
Will I die of pressure?
Will I die of pressure? Because, bruh, when I clocked 30, I said, I am done.
I've released myself.
I will release myself because it's like I didn't die. Because you guys, they told you when you clock 30, you haven't achieved the things you're supposed to achieve. The world is going to crumble. Like
and
like
fall.
dust. Like when they kill vampires.
Everything.
I was like,
go to dust.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. I know.
Leave me alone.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome to this week's episode of She Knows
Best. It's not therapy, but it might help because she knows best.
So welcome to this week's episode. We're happy to be back, happy to be with you on your screens. We're getting used to this this life, this podcasting life.
Slowly.
But thank you for coming back.
Yeah, if you've been watching from the first episode to now, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. So today's episode is another interesting one. It's about adult friendships. We're calling it the friendship episode. Why losing friends hurts more than losing lovers. And I think this is something that all of us we're trying to figure out. We're trying to navigate in our adult life, how to make new friends, how to keep friends, and everything else in between. But before we delve into the topic and the discussion, we'll just do a quick check-in.
Check-in.
How has your last week been?
The week's been good. It's been, recovering from a lot from the previous couple of weeks. But it's a good week. It's a busy week. I have a couple of events happening. Actually, it's mostly events, to be fair. So work is busy, but not overwhelmingly busy. But then I'm also just prepping myself for the next couple of weeks because,
they're going to be pretty
intense. But I think that's mostly it for now. Honestly, it's work. I'm sorry because I feel like all my check-ins are going to be about work. Because I barely have a social life. Maybe at some point I will start to communicate about a social life that will come up. But right now it's mostly work, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
I think that's the stage of adulting that we're in right now. Work, and more work.
Yep. That is. And you? How have you been? What's happening? What's popping?
Same, it's pretty much the same thing. I've been trying to take it slow this summer. I know it's summer, but it's summer in the abroads. But it's also summer here. So I've just been trying to take it slow. I had a pretty rough start to the year, so just trying to get back into everything. And go back to the other side of the world, get a few things done, and
Don't go.
I'm coming back. I'll be here. If you see me on the podcast, it means I'm here.
That's true. For everyone else, she's still going to be around because we're going to make sure that we continue to produce. We're given a task to produce 100 episodes. So, guys, you're with us. Accountability partners.
Send thoughts and prayers.
Send threats. If there's an episode that is missing, send threats. You'll threaten us. We'll threaten Alan, who is our editor and DP, but the threats will keep going until the episodes are out. Yeah.
We just have to keep going, keep working on it. It's actually a lot of work. People think, I think even I've also been guilty of this, thinking that, it's a podcast. It's
you just easy. Go and yap.
You go and yap. But actually, a lot goes into this.
Liz has to spend nights researching. Me, I just come and yap, to be honest. Liz has to go and research and look for articles and papers and what, so that we come and share factual information.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's exciting work. So I'm here for it. We're here for it, and we are moving.
Yeah,
one episode at a time.
So I think with friendships, this is, I think, a topic that will relate everyone will relate to.
Yeah.
The guys the guys in production I'm sure are very happy because now today we're not bashing men.
The
We're
last
very-
one,
yeah.
guys wanted to cry.
Today we're not bashing men. Today we're very nice. We're talking about topics that they can, hopefully understand because
Or relate to
yeah,
in some
or
way.
relate to in some way. But it's really about friendships, about friendships and chosen families.
Yeah.
Because however much you have such big families and such full families and whatever's and all these things, I think like your friends are your chosen family. Like those are the people. Because if you think about it, like I have sisters. I mean, I have seven. I have
You guys
seven
are many.
sisters. I like 4 brothers. So I mean, those are like that's my blood forever.
Yeah.
But the question is like, if you were not related, would you still be friends with them? I am blessed, so blessed to know that like each and every one of my siblings I would still be friends with. But that's not the case for everyone.
Yeah.
So if that's not the case for you, then hopefully you have that chosen family, which is friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're going to be talking about. How it's okay for that to be your family. Like sometimes, like it's okay. Like I know you also feel the guilt, or even just like you feel sad and stuff like that. That maybe you don't have that blood family. But I think the chosen family is actual family if you think about it.
Yeah, they really are. And for me, like we keep saying, nothing can compare to female friendships, which is very, very true. Which is, to be honest, very, very true.
Like, bruh, I mean, this is like 20 years
Over 20
of
years.
friendship. So,
Yeah, and I think it's been. I think that we have that in common, that many of our close female friends are people we've kept for very, very many years. Yes,
True.
seasons change and stuff, but these are people we circle back. It's like circling back to each other, And like friends being chosen family, I can relate to that quite a bit because it's something that I've seen with like my own family. Like my parents have really, really good friends who have been a part of like our lives from the time I was born, and like in this difficult season of our lives, like this year, for example, some of those friends have shown up and have been closer than have been really close to us, closer than family in some instances, and even for me on a personal level, like I've had friends show up for me in such a close way and a close manner. Actually, I was telling you, like when I was coming home. And so when I came home, my father had passed away, and like I had to come home in like 24 hours. But like I can't tell you for the life of me how my stuff got packed, how I made it to the airport. I didn't know anything. I was just
existing.
I
and
was
people were
just
just doing everything.
Yeah. So
So I think those friendships are just. I mean, it's just so amazing to just have that bond with people that you've chosen along the way.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think the most important thing about that chosen family is, and also what makes it actually a true chosen family, and also a family, is that you will. Like you're always there. Like even with us, like we became friends when we were 16.
Yeah.
You get it's the
yapping
thing.
away in a literature class.
Yapping away, just quarreling with everyone else. So it was always like me and Liz like just against like probably the entire other class. Be like, no, that doesn't make sense. If you think about it like this, oh my God, no wonder we are here.
No wonder we are here yapping away on a podcast.
On a podcast with the same opinions and something. But like if you think about it, like we've gone through so much. Like we've gone through school, secondary school. We've gone through family drama. We've gone through babies.
Yeah.
We've gone through
we started our career like the exact
same time, and then like we think it apart, where we're like both trying out different things.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done so much. We've actually done work together. We've done like every single thing. But even in that, there's like highs, there's lows, there's all these things. And that's a family. Whether if you think about it, you get because it's like we've seen each other in every season of our lives, and like there is times, there's like time frames where it will be like maybe we spent the year and we saw each other maybe like 4 times in that year. You get where maybe you are exploring other friendships, I was exploring other friendships, or exploring other family, I mean other careers and things like that. And then you always know that but that, like, that's always your person,
Yeah.
because you know whatever it means. Like, even if I haven't seen her in a year or whatever in person,
Yeah.
I know that if I call,
Yeah. I'm there.
like, I'm like, you get, like, she's going to be there no matter what.
Yeah.
And like, if that's not family, guys, then what is?
What is? That's
What
true.
is? If you think
Yeah.
about it, if that is not family, then what is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's also, like, if you think about it, then there's also like the evolving friendships, because I mean, since we've been friends, I mean, since we were 16, and
Yeah.
if you think about it in those times, like, our friendship has evolved but it has also evolved in the way that we've managed to keep the friendship.
Yeah.
But there's also the evolving friendships where, like, you're not going to be best friends forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to consider and maybe accept also the fact that, like, you know what, maybe the way we were best friends in secondary school because maybe we were in the same place, maybe we
Yeah.
were taking the same classes, we had the same interests,
Yeah.
we had we had the same other friends.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if when we're in school, I think we're like a group
We
of
had a
girls, were
group
like
of
one
like
of
10,
like
I
10
remember.
people, and like would eat together, sleep together, like everything,
Troublemakers.
troublemakers together. But you see, so maybe that's that, and then you grow up, and then things start to happen, and maybe that's the things that were holding you together are not there.
Yeah.
So I think that's also a very important thing that maybe we don't discuss, because
Yeah.
it's so painful to like have that
Yeah.
expectation, because you expect to spend the rest of your lives with these people if you think about it.
That's what we expect, but it's also how we've been conditioned as society to believe that all friendships must look the same. They must they must last forever, or they must last a really, really long time. And if that doesn't happen, then there's something wrong. But there's something my mom told me like 10 years ago. It's the first time I had it, and she said every friendships are for a season, reason, or a lifetime.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so like there's a season. Some friendships just have a season, and that's okay. And then some friendships are for a reason. Sometimes you don't know the reason. Maybe one person knows the reason for this friendship.
Yeah.
When we were growing out, maybe it was clout, or some people are just friends because that person is cool or whatever, or they have access to this thing or that thing, and that's a reason.
Maybe just there's also just friendships of vibes, of like you're just friends of vibes,
which is also
of like
okay,
that is your going out friend, of like that day that you need to, like, you're like, today I need to shake my ass. You know that friend that you're going to call, who's going to be ready to go and shake with you.
And that's a very valid friendship.
Yeah, very
super
valid. The only thing you have to know is to differentiate between that friend and the one that you will call when maybe you're like down bad and like you need advice and you're depressed and like so as long as you know that difference between that, then I think you're good.
And but I think that's something I don't know where it comes from, or why we don't have these conversations about friendships like when we're growing up, because most people don't know that. Like, it's not until we get into our later years that then we start to understand the different friendships or the different forms that friendship can take, right? That this is my going out friend, or this is my party friend, or this is my friend for this particular purpose, and this is like my forever friend. Like, why is it that we don't have those? I don't know if it should be. I don't know if it's a less. I don't know. Yeah, but we're not taught.
I think it's a thing of, it's a growth. It's something that comes with growth, because whether you like it or not, like when, like, let me say you're in your teens or you're in your 20s, like the world seems so big. You get like, there's so many expectations. Like you feel like you can conquer the world. You get like, you can conquer anything. You can conquer any friendship, any relationship. That's why even when you're with someone in high school, in like secondary school, you're thinking like, this is going to be my person forever, because you don't know what, like, you don't know all the ups and downs, the troubles, the what. You don't even know what priorities are, because at that age, like, that's your most important person. That's probably your most important relationship at that age, you get. Because you have siblings, you have all these people, but these are the people that, like, again, because they're chosen, it's like, that's your person, you get. Because with the siblings, like, let me say if I have my sister, I share my sister with all my other siblings. But like with you, if we're friends, then you're my friend. You get like, you're my friend. So like, that's your thing. And you never think that your thing is going to come to an end. You get like, I think that's the thing of, it's something that you have to recognize in growth. And even I feel like now we can recognize that you and I, or even like whoever it is, that way, if you've reached a certain part in your life where you've grown to a certain extent, But I'm sure there's people still in their 30s who still haven't realized that, you know what, not every friendship is forever. You get, and they're holding on to like this friendship where they're like, oh yeah, like this is, very bad. It's a toxic relationship. It's all this. But you're like, man, no, like we've come from far. This is my person from like back at time. What? But it's like, let it go. So I think it's a growth process. Like you can't rush it.
Yeah.
Whether you have, it's like how, you know how they say that whether you like it, at some point you have to go through heartbreak. I think that's also like, it's growing pains, is that what they call it? Like it's growing pains, you get. So we can't, like, that's one of those things you can't rush. Like you will have a friendship where you're like, you know what, this one, too far.
Yeah.
Like it's come and buy, we are together.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, and that's the thing, it might not even be like a mob dramatic thing.
Yeah.
Of, oh my God, she betrayed me so much. But you'll just reach one day.
And you drift.
The messages are less and less.
Yeah.
The phone calls are less and less.
Yeah.
The lunches are less and less. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I haven't spoken to this person. And when people see you, they're like, oh my God, how is Liz? You're like, eh.
Yeah, like
you're
I'm
like,
not sure,
yeah,
but
like,
yeah,
I think she's fine.
yeah. Like, oh, I don't know, but okay, yeah. No, but like for me, and I keep saying it because I keep saying like, yeah, breakups, you know, romantic breakups hurt, but friendship breakups hurt so much. But it also comes from that not knowing, or not, because we don't know until later in life that not every friendship is permanent. Like, I feel like the breakups I've had, like the friendship breakups I've have hurt so badly that shit traumatizes you and rewires you in ways that you never expected. You're like, what?
How did that
How did that even happen? Or like, how did we get here? You know? But I feel like, yeah, I mean, if we knew, like, if some of those things, maybe not the depth of like how much it can hurt, or, you know, the understanding that people can drift apart or whatever, but like if we knew just that simple lesson that not every friendship is permanent, we would, I don't know, maybe we would navigate life a little differently. Like, it's something I'm trying to teach my daughter, because
but that's the thing, like, I feel like it's that warning that I feel like you're going to bias them not to live life fully. Because then you go into every relationship, every friendship, like with this thing of like, it might not last. Because if you think about it, the reason why it hurts so bad, okay, I don't know about male friendships because those ones are just
like this.
Yeah. But like with us is like, you know, like how I'm always, like we're always joking of you can never break up with me because you know all my things. So if you go and you tell, please, you're here for life. You get
like, where are you going?
Where are you going? Like, there's nowhere you're going, because then all my things, you're going with all my secrets, all my life, like if someone wants to know me, they will come to you. So now you're telling me we're broken up. What do you mean? What are you saying?
Yeah.
What if you tell them to your new bestie? No, please.
Yeah.
But you see, it's just that, like, I think especially with female friendships, is like, it's our relationships are actual.
They're very deep.
They're very deep relationships. Like, this is a person whose shoulder you've cried on. Like, every single heartbreak you've had, that's the person whose shoulder you've cried on. As in, all your dreams, you're like, imagine, like, now we're not friends anymore, and then I win an Oscar. Who am I going to call? You get.
You would have to call me even if you're not talking to me.
Exactly.
Because the was like,
you get exactly.
And the one who knows
you get where I've come from. You get what I'm saying. So that's the thing. Like, it has, like, the friendships. Like, this is your person. Like, this is your person. Like, you've shared the life together. So it makes sense that it's that painful. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you prepare, or if you warn her, if you want her, like, against, like, oh, like, be careful, like, some friends are like I feel like it's those, it's like, now she's going to go into all friendships and not experience, because I feel like she needs to, like, be vulnerable, like, fully vulnerable, to be able to experience the true depth of that kind of friendship. But if there's that warning and things like that, then you're not going to think it. Maybe it could be that, just be careful and, like, think of the friendship before it starts, and figure out, like, is this a vibes friendship? Is it an in-depth friendship? Is this a money friendship? Because there's also the money friendship. The guy that you call when we are making money.
Yeah, we have those. Yeah, we know those ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, but for me, it's a situation of for her to be able to learn that that there's different kinds of friendships. Like, not every shiny new friend is going to be your best friend forever. And that's where we set ourselves up for heartbreak, in thinking that every shiny new friend is like your person. You're going to be besties forever. You're going to do, all the things together, which is really not the case. So I don't know. That's I'm still trying to figure out how to
navigate that with her.
Yeah.
Man, that's a difficult one, you guys. I know being a mother cannot be easy, because that's also, because the thing is, like, you're also still trying to navigate that, but then you also have to navigate it for your daughter, because you also want to prepare her for all these things in life. So it's like, I really, really, really do not envy you in any way, shape, or form in that situation. Like, but like, I think that's the thing. Like with I think with that is also, we have to. Then there's also the part of the evolving part of friendship, where there is different reasons why you're going to leave different people behind. I know, like, for example, like, I know someone, like a friend, like two friends who they started to grow apart because, and this other person didn't know it. So like the one was like had become distant, had become very quiet and thingy. So she's reaching out. She's like, "What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" And finally, this she like when they get to talk, one of them is like it was difficult seeing you growing. Like, she had gotten a job, she was buying land, she was doing all these things, and this person was still like trying to figure out like what they were doing, because they were stuck in like a dead end 9 to 5. They really didn't like what they were doing. So now there's that stretch where it's like, okay, you've grown, like this person has grown thingy. So there's, of course, one would say no, like, you have to be happy for your friends and stuff like that. But I also think it's a very valid place to be for the other person. Like, yes, you have to be happy for your friends, but it's a very natural thing to feel. You get to like feel like you're being left behind. Like, it makes I think I can understand. Like, she was probably put in a position where she had to think critically and reflect about her own life, and she wasn't happy about where it was going. But then also sometimes with friendships that grow apart based on those changes and feeling and how some of those changes bring up feelings of inadequacy in us. I keep going back to something Oprah and Gail said when they did an interview, and they asked them, how have you been friends for so long? And I think it was Oprah who said, and anyway, both of them, they said, friends who are happy for you.
Friends who are happy for you, but also you can't be friends with someone who wants your life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because after, I can look at your progress. There's so many areas of your life that you've done so well in that but then that's not what I want for my life. So if that, if those wins are triggering that inadequacy in me and insecurity, I also need to sit with myself and reflect and say, but the thing is, that's not what I want. I have different goals, and I wanted different things. Do you understand? So, like, I keep coming back to that thing of like, you can't really, and I've seen like over the years, you really can't be friends with someone who wants your life, or who keeps trying to keep a score or compare, like, this is what you've done, and how come for me I've not done that, and putting a strain on the relationship or on the friendship based on what you have, what the other person has or has not accomplished. Like, for me, I feel like that's how you know that that's an indicator of that maybe this is not a very healthy friendship. So I don't know.
Man, I hear you. No, definitely, I hear you. I saw I was going to say I saw something somewhere, but every time I say that, just know I saw it on TikTok. So just
I read
something somewhere. I saw it on TikTok, just so you know. But anyway, so I saw a TikTok where this person was saying how it's like how, like, okay, you're not in a 9 to 5, but like how we have friends who are like in a 9 to 5 and stuff like that. And the person was saying how someone asked them, they were like, how do you feel when like your friends are, like, you see, like if someone is in a corporate position, there is a very clear indication of the career path that they're going to take most of the time. Like, if I do ABCD, I'll be able to reach ABCD, and then I'll move to ABCD. You get like, so you can, the trajectory of their career is very clear, and it's like, and it's very, like, it moves, like you can see how it's moving. But of course, like, you as an entrepreneur or a freelancer, whatever it is that you're doing, it's not as straightforward. So you're still trying to figure it out. So the person was I think they were asked, they were like, how do you feel when your friends are growing in their careers and they're moving up, but then like, do you not feel like, especially I think because they had left the corporate world and now they were doing I think creative work. So like, how do you feel? And the person said was like, the thing is like, if that's what I wanted for me, I would feel bad.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want.
Yeah.
So the person said was like, it doesn't make sense for me to even feel a certain way about that, because ideally that's not what I want. Like, that's not like, I don't want to be CEO of like a corporate company or like a major whatever
Fortune 500,
Fortune
or a bank or whatever.
or a bank or whatever. That's not my goal. That's not like, I don't want to be in the C-suite of a thing. Like, that's not my goal. Like, I know what I want. Then he was like, if it was someone in my industry and they're getting to that point, that maybe there would be a bit of jealousy or a bit of envy in me. But if it's someone like in something that I left, then it doesn't make sense. Like, so the person was like, so they were so of course they were trying to ask them about regretting leaving corporate, and they're like, that can't be the reason why I regret it. Like, it can't be because I've seen someone else make it. Maybe the only reason I'd regret it is maybe if like, maybe like I left and like I left a really good job, and like maybe what I wanted to do is not really panning out, and I'm like, maybe I should have stayed there to like make money. But he's like, it can't be because I'm seeing other people succeed in that, because my dream is not to succeed in that. So
my path looks completely
my path is
different.
Completely different from that. So yes, I think that makes sense for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we need to keep reminding ourselves, you know, when they say, oh yeah, like this envy in friendships and all of that stuff. And I feel like that's a question I've been sitting with myself. I've been sitting and asking myself a lot lately. Like, when I look at like my friends, because people say it all the time, and not to sound holier than thou, but when I think about the life that I want, it looks completely different from
Most
my
of your
friends. So I'm like, why? Like, where is? Like, when I do my reflection, like when I sit with myself and I say, okay, where would the envy come from? And I'm like, and also that's, I think that's something that I'm very blessed with, is I have such a very diverse friend circle. Like, my closest friends, if I put them
Everyone
in
is
one
doing
room,
completely
it would be I don't even know. It would be
actually it would take over the world, because it because it'll be like someone you have in health, you have in government, you have in economics, you have in about what?
Yeah, my friend group is always super diverse in terms of like work and backgrounds and everything. So like, there's no one person that I look at and I'm like, I want to like copy paste that template, because I also feel like that's a very lazy approach to life. Like, why? Who are you that you can't sit and design your life in the way that you want? It's something magnificent and beautiful and completely different from what already exists amongst your friends.
This might be like a lazy take, but I blame our education system, kinda. Because I think even though, like, the way that school was set up, the way that we were set up, even the way that they like with like the rankings, you get like, you had like, it was a competition thing. So I don't even think that people want to like copy paste other people's lives. It's just there's this like invisible scoreboard that people have, and they're trying to be like, and everyone is trying to be the highest on that scoreboard, whether it's Instagram pictures or oh my god, like the aesthetics. Me and my friends, we travel all the time. Me and my friends, we do this, or it's promotions, LinkedIn, things like that, or it's so there's like this invisible scoreboard that we've been brought up in that way of competing, and it's just who is the best, who is this, and also of course there is also, like, whether we like it or not, the classist nature of our society of you have to reach certain milestones. Milestones at a certain age. You have to have like a certain title for you to be respected and stuff like that. So I think that like that education system that taught us to just copy paste what you've been taught and you will succeed. And then also the classist issue of you need to walk into a room, like remember when we went to Morocco for that program, there is so of course people always ask, what do you do? Yeah. And for me it's always been, because that's something that I always ask people. I'm like, oh, so what do you do? And for the longest time for me, it's it's a very not even innocent question, because I use it as an icebreaker.
Yeah.
Because, and maybe it's also, as I don't know if it's privilege in a certain way on my part, because what I do will kind of give you an indication of who I am, of my personality, of what I like to do and things like that. And maybe not everyone is...
Not so much for everyone.
Yeah, not so much for everyone.
People,
So for me, when I ask that question, it's usually to like, get to know you in one thing. Yeah, and then ask further questions.
Yeah.
So usually my question will be like, oh, do you enjoy what you do?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy about it? Things like that. Like, that's my icebreaker.
Yeah.
And then I see this whole thing where someone is like, yeah, when people ask you what they do, they're trying to figure out your class,
social,
how much money you make, because they'll know, like, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Are we thinking that deep about it?
Yeah.
And so many people are like, yeah, of course. Like, if someone tells you in marketing, they're going to be like, yeah. But if someone tells you like, oh yeah, I'm in finance, it's like, oh, now I think you're a big deal. Oh, that's why you figure out people who, when you ask them what do you do, they'll be like, oh, I worked at this and this company. They'll merge it together because then it gives you a bit of the... I was like, huh, that's interesting, because I was so confused. I was like, guys, I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I was literally trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
But then you think about it and you're like, it does make sense, but it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, that's why. So those icebreakers these days, we say you need to ask people like, what's the last thing that made you happy? Or like, what's the last thing? Because asking people like, what do you do is considered... You don't ask right. You're not supposed to ask it like outrightly. Although, because that's how we've been conditioned as a society, I'm also guilty of it.
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I ask people. Yeah. Like, what do you do? Which comes off a bit because of those connotations and whatever. It comes off a bit like, who do you think you are? Right. Yeah. But I think we also because you see, as a society, we attach our value. Like you said, you've said all the things, but we attach our value to what we do. Remember, growing up, you were supposed to be for like 5 things.
You're supposed to be a doctor, a lawyer,
and then as the millennials, we are the ones who have deviated from that's the predetermined career paths. Like now there's way more careers and way more trades or whatever that people can do. But we're guilty. I'm guilty. We attach our value to what we do. Like for me, Afsa, let me tell you, if there's one thing that gives me depression in life, it's not what other people are doing. It's what I feel I'm not doing. Like where I said I was supposed to be,
and you're not
and
there,
I'm not
and now
there.
it's stressing
now
you.
For me, that's what stresses me. Like it's so weird. Like anyone can tell. Like my closest family will tell you. Like for me, that's like a major thing. But you see, it's also those are things that in growing, I'm trying to work on, right?
Yeah.
Not to attach my value to externalities. That I can't control.
I thank God that I let go of that thing when I hit 30. When I clocked 30, I said, you know what? Whose timeline am I on? Because I clocked 30, I did die.
Yeah. And they said 30, 30.
There was no one behind me. Shame, because you haven't accomplished what you said. I said, please, what is that?
Will I die of pressure?
Will I die of pressure? Because, bruh, when I clocked 30, I said, I am done.
I've released myself.
I will release myself because it's like I didn't die. Because you guys, they told you when you clock 30, you haven't achieved the things you're supposed to achieve. The world is going to crumble. Like like fall, dust. Like when they kill vampires.
Everything.
That's
going to dust.
I'm still here.
I'm still here. I know.
Leave me alone.
And that's such a good realization to reach. Because also, remember our generation, like this millennial generation, we are the generation that left school, and then there were things like Forbes lists. There were lists of like
guys,
to be the most accomplished person. We are the generation of LinkedIn. If you don't have every year or 2 years, I'm happy to announce that I've accomplished this. You're the one. You're the last one, basically. Joking that there was being behind in class. Now that's the benchmark. Those are the benchmarks.
There's always a benchmark. You see what I'm saying? There's always a either you're the last in class. You have to be the last in class. You leave class now. You're thinking. I remember thinking, so one of our friends, mutual friends, she was on the Forbes list. Went to the Forbes, actually it scared me, I can't even say it, because she put these things on her Instagram. She was on the Forbes list 30 and the 30 were great. Then so when she moved back to LA, she was driving Lyft. So she'll tell people, I was on the Forbes list, but here
I am driving Lyft.
I know, like, you guys, release yourselves. Release yourselves. Be like, guys,
I
that
know.
you get, where is that for bliss now?
Where is
you
it
get
now? Yeah.
So it's like, like
What has it done
what
for
has
me?
it done for me? Here I am. Please,
We are still all figuring
all of
out,
us are
like, we are
figuring it out,
trying.
you
Yeah.
get. So it's just like, I think we just need to like release ourselves from those things. And I feel when we do that, then I think our relationships are better for it, because then you stop comparing yourselves to other people.
Yeah.
You stop comparing yourselves to the people in your life. But I think also the most important thing, and this is also something that I'm always saying, is mention your friends in the rooms. Me, I always say, I'm like, you guys, me, I want to be rich. And I'm not about to move around with peasant friends. So that's why when I'm going, all my people come with me.
Yeah, that one's, yeah.
All my people come with me. That's why if we're making money, we're all making money. If there's a project, every person, you guys, I'm not above nepotism. Let me not lie to you. I am, as long as you can do the job.
Yes.
I am not above nepotism.
Yeah, true.
I will put my sister, I will put my best friend,
True,
I will put their husband, I'll put their children in that position. The only thing I ask is that you do that
your
job.
Yeah.
Do that job. But other than that, I am not above nepotism, because when I make it, when I'm in that, when I'm on that yacht in Saint-Tropez,
we need to be together.
I need my people with me. Who else am I going to be with? Am I going to be in Saint-Tropez with whites? No.
Yeah.
I need my people with me in Saint-Tropez.
I swear, yeah.
So,
putting your friends on.
So, but I put your friends on, like, it's such, oh my God, like, I can't even say how important it is. Like, I'm always saying, even with you, I'm always saying there are 3 people in my life. If someone calls me, I'm like, oh, after I got your number from this person, I start to panic, because it means the things that they have said, they have sold dreams to this person as per the things that I can. Now I've added Felix to that list, but there's you, there's Arthur, there's Kemi. Actually, now there's even redundant on that list. When someone calls me, I'm like, oh yeah, I got your number from this. I'm like, now I have to like overachieve.
You have to deliver.
You have to proper deliver, because I know they have sold dreams. I've told them this is the person.
Yeah.
There's no one else like this person. But like, I wish for all of us to have friends like that, where you like constantly
put your friends
on, because that's I think also that also helps friendships as well. Again, I insist, your friends who you trust to deliver, because I want to bagenda kuswaza.
There's your friends, the friends you trust to deliver, but there's also another angle that I recently realized with especially when you're someone that likes to put people onto things, like exactly what you've. Me, I'm not above nepotism. If I know where the opportunity is and you're in my circles, I will put you on. However, there's also unfortunately a certain entitlement that grows on people, which I've also found to be a bit. I'm just like, I actually don't have to.
No, it's not for by force.
It's not for by force. Like, I don't have to go. I don't have to stretch myself too much. Like, if I've given you one opportunity, if I've identified or I've pointed you in the direction of something that, and you do it poorly or you don't follow through, but then you still expect that I will toil away finding you didn't pay me, you didn't hire me, I'm not your worker. And for me now, that thing pisses me off, because I'm just like, yes, I want all the people around me to be winning, but then when I feel a certain entitlement, and it's something that I've noticed recently, like people, there's that entitlement of, because you know you have
know someone, so you have connections on this and this.
And I'm like, but I also don't. It's not a must.
It's not a must. It's not for by force. You didn't pay me. I am not your recruiter. I'm not your agent to look for you jobs.
And for me, it's like, it's something that I've found to be.
No, that's a bit icky. That's a bit icky.
Bothersome.
That's a bit icky. But I think, also anyway, that definitely is a bit icky. So I think also, that also brings us to now boundaries with people. Is however much friendships are great, all these are great, all these things are great and amazing. I think it's very important for us to also create those boundaries with people, where it's like, like what you said, like, what friendships are what. You get, like, now you will know, like, which friendship, which friends. You're like, if someone calls me and I put Afsa's name, Tagena Kunswaz. You get. And then you also know which friend you're going to rely on for, maybe for, like, if you're like really, really down, the person you're going to call. And then the guy who you're going to call, who is always a vibe. You're like, I'm looking for Pate today. So you also know that person. So I think also just creating those boundaries, because also that if I put on Afsa, like, she's not going to feel entitled. She's not going to take the piece. It's not going to be like, even those things of like, someone here, you call them and you tell them. I'm like, what do you mean call them? Like, do you know what it takes for me to call in a favor?
But yeah.
Okay, like, because a favor is not a one-sided thing. That's what people don't understand.
You've created an imbalance.
You've just created an imbalance because now I owe that person.
Yeah.
How do you know what I was going to do my favor, use my favor for?
Exactly.
You get it? So it's just like, I think you also just like create those boundaries of like the people who can actually ask those things of you and the ones who can't.
Yeah.
But I think that's also like the most important thing, because otherwise you can't just be putting everyone on. Man, you're just going to end up fingering yourself for nothing.
You burn bridges, relation. So how do you create healthy boundaries with friendships? Because like we were having a conversation just earlier today about even just like our work situation, and like saying, like, for example, if I have a problem and I need a place to stay, of course I can carry my bag to your home and I know I will have a bed. But then, like, some people don't know, like, what. So, but even in that, there are boundaries that need to be respected, and I think that's where people take the piss. Like, because you can you can come to my place and you'll always have a place to stay. You'll always have a hot meal. But then people they overstretch those things.
Yeah,
it's. Yeah, human nature. We are human beings. We are flawed. We are not perfect. So even we will cross boundaries. But then I feel like sometimes some people really just take.
No, they just take the piece. They just think you need. I think for me, and this I think this also goes way back to, I think, the way that we were brought up. I think moving here with the culture shock and stuff like that. Like, my mom was very, very like protective of us, so it was even going outside and playing with others and stuff like that. It was very like it wasn't something that we did easily. I was like, I've told you how even in primary school we never went to any field trips. I saw the museum Wanonga ndi Mukulu. I saw the museum Wanonga ndi Mukulu. Other children went to Disney's World with a school class. Me and my cousins went to Disney's World together. They left us at home. Then on the weekend we went thinking. So I think that has always made us very, well, not, I don't want to say weary, but like very aware of like the people that we let into our spaces. So for me, I think it's always been like those, I create boundaries very, very, very early on. Of course, again, like you said, I'm human. Like one or two times, some people have slipped through those boundaries. But I think I try so hard to create those boundaries very, very early on that like even now, like, I mean, if I go into a bar a lot of the times, from the bouncer at the door, I will be greeting from the bouncer out to what, like, you get, because of the work that I do and people know who, like, you get, like, I know so many people and stuff like that. But I think I've managed to create that balance of I'm friendly, I'm nice, you get friendly to people, but then I also create that brand. I also don't cross, like, it's not even don't cross me. I think I create that boundary. It might be a wall, which might also be that I need to find a balance between a boundary and creating walls and not allowing to form friendships and relationships. But I create those boundaries very early on, especially because I also work in a very, like,
people
business, you get, so it's easy for that to be crossed. It's very, very, very easy. So I think also that has allowed me to create very, very like boundaries. Like, I mean, I can count on one hand the people that know where I live, you get. I can count on one hand the people that know my siblings, all these people and stuff like that. It's just the people that are my people. So I think those are things that I've tried to create very early on. It might also be like, you might argue that I need to build relationships better, but I also say like it does help me with boundaries for sure.
Yeah.
So for me, that one, I can't even take credit for it. That one came from back at time, from the mother.
Yeah.
Like she helped us create those boundaries and also learn that not everyone needs to be in your space. Yeah. And you also don't need to be in everyone's space. Like, I can laugh with people, I can do it, but I don't need to be like, I won't assume that we're friends. I won't assume that we're besties just because you've been nice to me once or twice on things like that. So I'm actually a kind of person, like, I move with actions and words. Like, it's not just words, it's not just actions. I need both of them to work together for me to be like, okay, yeah, this is my actual friend. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally get you. I think for me it's because even though, there was kind of like similar upbringing, but no, my parents allowed us to like explore and get to, you know, meet new people and friends. And I think for me, for a long time in my life, and I can say it openly because I've said it to some new friends recently, like when I moved and I had like, when you sit down and you're talking and then you have deep conversations, and I said I'm actually, but you know this, I'm a bit jaded when it comes to friendships, but I'm fixing it, like I'm repairing it, but also in a very intentional manner, because what most people also don't know is that even though I've been jaded I'm jaded in terms of like some adult friendships, I have very solid and strong friendships, childhood friendships, like from childhood or my teenagers, that still like carry me to this day. So in making like new close friends, it can be.
You used to collect friends.
I used to collect people. I used to collect people like collecting Somba Byuma.
You guys, you'd be there. Liz is like, my friends, it's a whole friend group. She has boys, girls, women, children, all of them. That's a whole new friend group. No genda wiki yokubiri. Another one.
No, I wasn't.
Now imagine me who's so introverted. Listen, to tell friend group, I'm just there. I'm like this.
Yeah, no, I was a Somba Byuma of friendships. I was a Somba Byuma, but you live and you learn. You live and you learn. But it doesn't mean I still don't make friends.
No, of course,
but
no. Yeah,
I'm more cautious.
Cautious, yeah.
Now, and also in
I think even the compartmentalization. That one of like, now you know like which friends are like friends of like when I'm down, whatever, they'll be there, and then now you know the ones that you call guy, you're going to the bar. So I think that also helps as well.
Yeah. But also in doing that, I'm also learning more about like creating stronger boundaries, because I was also jaded with friendships because I used to let people walk all over me.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Me, I used to be that person of, you're my friend, I can give you the shirt off my back. Yeah. But you realize in this life that's not the way
everyone needs. You shouldn't give everyone the shirt off your back.
Naked. You'll die of hypothermia. You'll freeze. Hey.
But because you cared and you want so much. You're the giver.
You're the Mother Teresa friend of
Nedda. Those things don't work.
Yeah, so.
But I think those, creating, but honestly, like, you know, like when you were younger, and like me and my cousins and my siblings are always talking about, like, when we were young, of course, we didn't get it. Like, it was, oh my God, my mother is a tyrant. She will never let us go outside. But now you grow up and we're thinking about it and we're like, you know what? They protected us from so much. From so much. Because by the time we went to secondary school, like, people were not, like, we were not very fazed by people.
Yeah.
It was, like, I'll take you for who you are, but, like, it's not that end all or be all of my life. Like, if you're not talking to me, Kale.
Yeah.
If you're talking to me, okay.
Yeah.
But because, like, we were told, like, we were brought up in that way of, like, that's, like, not everyone. Like, don't collect everyone, don't take away, like, don't go to everyone. Just have the people that you care about, the people that are there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which I think, man, you know, you grow up. That's what I tell you. Like, you live and you learn, and like you just grow up and like you just think about like your mothers when you grow up, and you're like, these are wise women.
I know,
proper wise women.
Yeah. But there's also like other growing pains when it comes to like friendships. Like you touched on it. Like we touched on it briefly. Like, you know, careers and changes and things like people getting married. I know, for example, like one of the things I've struggled with adult friendships is, for example, being a single woman and then your friends get married and then they feel like, oh,
my friends have refused to get married. I don't have that problem. But now all of them single women. Please get married.
Yeah, and being chucked because now for you don't fit in this
scenario. I don't even that thing of like now we are
and then being treated like different because you're single, and then sometimes it's seen as, especially like when you hang out with, which is, people may argue, but it's the truth, especially in Kampala where we still put like marriage and relationships on a pedestal. Like you'll get if you have a friend group and everyone's getting married and you're not getting married, then you become almost like a threat. Like people don't want to bring you around their people or their partners, and they say things. No, that shit happens. Then they say things about you, like crazy stuff.
That is so sad,
girl.
That is such a sad life to live.
Please tell us your stories in the DM. and we'll post them because it happens.
You got married, now you don't want to bring me around your husband.
Yeah. But also them, they tell them at their homes.
Oh, don't take your single friends.
In mothers' unions, in the church. Yeah, they tell them, yeah. Like your single friend said each agenda kuyamba. But when that man beats you, it's your single friend.
It's me who's going to pick you up.
To save you.
It's me who's going to pick you up from your home. What?
That single friend that you don't want.
Yeah. That is so sad. Because first of all, me, the moment, not even when you get married, the moment, please, you show me a picture, you're like, this is the one. I want this one. Like, like it's like as if like there's a thing that comes over my eyes. I will never look at that man as a man again. Like, you just become a human being. Like, I will never in my life be attracted to you. I want nothing for you ever.
But that's not the way most people operate.
That's so sad. Yeah. You mean people are losing friends over men?
Yes.
Wow, guys. Imagine. Let's do better.
Imagine.
Let's really, really do better because what is that?
Mm-hmm. Because so and so got married, so for you, they feel like you're not a part of this new secret society of the married ones.
Someone's going to tell you when that married man is. Anyway, you know what?
That's why I said even those things. Me, I keep my mind might be. I'm the number one in mind in my business now.
Me, let me tell you. Me, I will tell you. I will tell you. Actually, I have a friend, Olga. Every time I see her husband, poof, picture, send. I hope you knew this is where he was. I hope he's where he's supposed to be.
I was at my cousin's wedding meeting like 2 weeks ago, and we were laughing and saying, like, just after the meeting, talking about marriage and stuff like that. And so how she was getting married. So the guys were saying, but if I see my friend's wife, even if I see her coming out of her lodge, it is none of my business.
Are you serious?
Because what makes me think that he doesn't know? What if they have an agreement in their home?
Auntie, if they have the agreement, you tell me back and tell me I knew where she was. You tell me, you text me. Okay, I will never report a woman. I will never ever report a woman. Never in my life. But if you have an agreement, you Liz, you text me and tell me, then you
were saying there's a saying in Luganda, because then my cousin my cousin said that you'll be there minding your own business, and she starts posting. You've reported to her the husband. She starts posting on her WhatsApp status. Kali, some people are snakes. They wanted to finish us.
It's okay. You guys, that one, I will die on that hill. By the way, that one, I will die on that hill. It's okay. Let me be that snake. I tell her, even the next time I see him, if you've blocked me, I'll send your sister. I'll be like, you see where I found him. Until you guys, it can please, you can't be there scary unless you, because like I know a few people who like specifically for them they're like, Afsa, never ever tell me if that's what you want from me. Mm-hmm. But if you're there, you're crying, and I'm showing you, I'll continue to show you until that day you say, please, Afsa, I don't want to know. Then I want to tell you. Then I'll be like Pax out of the game. I won't tell you, but I'll still take pictures and archive in case one day you decide you want to be like, you want, okay, here. On this and this day, I tell now iPhone has dates. This and this date he was here. On this day he was here. But like the thing is, we have to. Man, me, I'll tell you. But I think the thing with friendships is, girls, like female friendships are just at the end of the day, that's your family, that's your people. Yeah. But I think also the other thing that we slightly touched on was the thing of the expectations. I think also maybe one of the things that like maybe I don't know if it's about these constraints. You guys, English is a difficult language, but like the constraints in the friendships is also the expectations, and the same way. I don't know if this is also probably capitalism, but the way that friendships have been sold to us is, I mean, all the way from Sex and the City to girlfriends to Gossip Girl to all these like friendship group to friends to these friendship group dynamics. I think we sort of expect our friendsps to look like that. Yeah. And now there's also, of course, now with on top of that you have Instagram, where it's like, the trip made it out of the group chat, the this, where you'll find that someone is like, they're traveling like 12 people, and people are like, oh my god, you have 12 friends, I can't even make 2. It's like, you know, every time I see that, I'm like, but you have your friends reading this post.
Things. Even those two, they have feelings that matter. What are you saying?
Why are you saying you have no friends? You get for them and they people. Also, you probably have more than 2 friends. Now you've posted that. Your friends who are more than 2 friends, they're asking them,
couldn't she count
Count
in those two?
Are you a monk?
Are you a monk? Maybe I'm not a monk, but yeah, but like I think those expectations are also very, very, they play a very, very big role in our friendships, whether we like it or not. And it might not be conscious, because you'll see a lot of things on Instagram where people are talking about friendship, like, if you don't reply to my messages, or like, no, like, if you don't come to my birthday party, or if you don't do this, or you get like, there's so many like rules and whatevers for friendships, and it's like, we can't, that can't be it.
Yeah, that can't be it. Like I understand, like, that people like the idea of there's too many like optics involved, like with friendships nowadays. Exactly what you said. But one thing that I keep saying, like, to my friends and people that know me closely nowadays, is when someone comes to me, like, let's say they message me and I don't reply a message, or they reply to me later, the first thing I always say, listen, life is taking all of us as adults
all
to
of
understand. Like, for me, that's not a measure of friendship.
It can't, like, it honestly cannot.
It's not a measure of friendship. If I wanted to say, if what I've said in the message is urgent and I need an answer from you after I call you. But this thing of WhatsApp, but you didn't reply my message. So are we children?
Exactly. Like, bro, do you know? First of all, you go and check someone's WhatsApp, they have like 400 unread messages. You're like, madam, in those 400 messages, at what point were they supposed to reply your message? You get, like, that's the thing. Like, we need to, first of all, give each other grace. Those things of like, we planned, my birthday trip was in Jamaica. This one, she didn't come.
But you know why I didn't come?
Do you know why I didn't come?
I should have come to Jamaica when the rent was squeezing me that month.
You get. So I think also we just have to give each other grace when it comes to friendship. Is one, realize that by the way, like, people have problems, people have things happening, but also, like, be able to, like, give room for your friends to be able to talk to you about certain things. If you cannot tell your friend, but this week, the brokenness is killing me, that is taking me, please give me time.
I feel like someone who didn't understand that isn't actually your friend.
That's not your friend. You get not even understand. I feel like someone that you wouldn't feel comfortable telling that. You have to reevaluate that friendship, because like, why aren't you comfortable telling that person, your friend, that, you know what, this week it's really not working out. So I think also we just need to stop using Instagram and TV as the measurement of what good friendships look like, because not all good friends and whatever has go to brunch every week.
No.
I cannot go to brunch every week. It's not even because I can't afford it. It's because I have things to do.
There's too much.
Monday through Sunday, I'm working.
Even when you're not working, you have family.
I have family. I have this. I have. You get, like, no one is trying to go to. Everyone has things to do. Everyone is dealing with things. So let's leave out. Also, there's those. Man, this one is also honestly very, very sad. But there's also the fact that some friends apparently don't fit the aesthetic.
Man, I've had that thing and it kills me. Because
I had that thing, I was like, wow, guys.
I'm just like, anyway, no wonder I think maybe I don't have many friends because I don't fit
aesthetic,
which is fine. But I'm just like, I can't be there living my life on pressure to fit a certain aesthetic. What about my aesthetic?
You get. I
didn't dream of a life for myself and what it looks like, or whatever. Me, I must fit an aesthetic of a predetermined aesthetic of a group of people.
But now that's why you're not in the same. But I think the thing is, like, let's just give friendships grace. And also, I think just figure out what you also need from friends. Like what friends are you looking for? Like you said, like, you might be at a point in your career. I remember there's a point in my career where I was really, really trying to make new friends. Like, it was the first time in my life, actually, that I even thought about it. I was like, I think I really need to make new friends. But the reason why I kept thinking about that was because, like, the point I was in my career, I needed people that understood. Like, I needed friends that understood first of all, the industry that I was in, the season that I was in. Like, I was trying to build a business. I had another business that I just joined that I was also helping build. You get, like, I was just in that season of my life. And of course, for me, like, me being me, like, it had to be female friendships. Like, that's what I was looking for. I was not looking for guys that understood me in that way. but like I remember like trying really really hard. So I think that's also like it's very valid to also want to make new friends in that way. And also I think the other thing is like no new friends, like don't listen to men, like make new friends.
Yeah.
Like make new friends like for what you need. Like if it's because of career, or if like you said, maybe you're a mom, you're a thinking like and just thinking old friends, like maybe like you said, like me after I'm probably most likely not going to understand your problems as a married. Okay, not going to understand, but maybe not relate as a married woman. So it's okay to make those new friends, but don't also sideline your old friends because you're like, oh yeah, like now I'm married. They don't understand what I'm saying. Da da da. Like keep those friendships, but also try and make new ones. So it's okay to always make new friends, but I think also just like give grace and nurture the old ones that have always been there, because those old ones, they know your secrets. They're going to tell people your secrets.
Yeah, but nurturing those friends, those old friendships also requires like intentionality.
Yeah.
And I think people we are a generation where we abuse language.
So much.
When people say intentional or be an intentional friend, people confuse being an intentional friend with
an always available friend.
Always available. You have no life of your own. You're always ready to go on the go. Yeah. You're the friend who is doing all the donkey work in the. People abuse the idea of intentionality, but intentional is just
it's also understanding to understand that what this year Liz is having a crazy year. I might talk to her 4 times in the year. You get like I have a friend, to be fair, like one of my best friends. Like we went to secondary school together, but I mean she lives in she's Kenya. She lives in Kenya. Probably we'll speak maybe like 3-4 times max in a year. We'll check, like we follow each other on social media, so it's like, oh hi, like what are you doing? Like update here and here. But like when we see each other, it's like you get like you make up for all the times that you get. So I think it's that like that's for me that's what I call intentional. It's if you know that there's a milestone in their life, congratulate them, be happy for them, do all these things. And also if there's something that you want to share it and stuff like that. But as long as there's that line of communication, but also like be understanding of the fact that at the end of that day, life happens.
Life is taking all of us, and that's what I keep saying. Like that's for me. When I understood that, that's when I was able to learn like grace for especially certain friendships, because also my level of grace or understanding is not the same for you after of 20 years and the one of 3 months. I'm sorry. Because at some point, the one of 3 months, you're going to start taking the piss. And like that, I don't think I can afford you the same level of grace because of different like circumstances. We're still getting to know each other.
So man, there's a history here that allows for that grace and the trusts also and the vulnerability that you've built with that person that you've probably not yet reached with the other person.
Yeah. So we have a dilemma. I, 28 female, have been best friends with J. She just put it J, 29 female, since secondary school. We've been through everything together. Breakups, university, starting our first jobs, even living together in a tiny bedsitter when we were broke and surviving on Chikomando and dreams. 2 years ago, J started dating someone she met at her workplace, a banking guy, mid-30s, really well off. Things moved fast. She moved into his Bugolobi apartment within a few months. Now they are engaged. I was genuinely happy for her because we've both been through terrible relationships and always joked that one day one of us would finally bag a stable man. But since then, she's changed. She's constantly busy with wedding planning and branches with her new circle of friends. Her new circle, his friends' wives and girlfriends. I've been invited a few times, but honestly, I feel like an outsider. These women are older, already married, and talk about baby showers and home renovations, while I'm still on the grind trying to get my small events business off the ground. What hurts most is she cancelled on me for my birthday dinner this year, the first time in 10 years, because she had to go to his boss's house party. When I tried to talk to her, she said I'm being needy and that friendships evolve. I'm happy she's happy, but I feel abandoned. We used to be each other's emergency contact, therapy session, and hype squad. Now I feel like I've been replaced by her fiancé and his fancy circle. Part of me wants to pull back completely and focus on other friendships, but another part of me is grieving what we had. So am I wrong for being left behind? Should I fight for the friendship or accept we're in different worlds right now?
Unfortunately, I think she has to accept, because other than the missed birthday dinner, which I think you could have made it. You could have made it work. But other than that, I feel like this is what we're saying about like your world evolving, because like how world has clearly evolved. It has clearly evolved to all these like things and stuff like that, like all these new people, these new things, which she seems to be happy with. And her fiance has probably taken over that role of best friend as well. So I think this is one of those situations where you allow and like let the friendship evolve. Maybe when you meet her where she's at some point, then you'll be able to rekindle that friendship, which has happened so many times. Like there's friendships where you haven't spoken or dealt with a person for years, and then at some point now you're back in that same space, and then you rekindle that. I feel like that's what that situation is, because at the end of the day, it's the things that you're interested in are completely different. Your woes, the things that make you happy, the things that make you sad, the things that you're thinking about, like your priorities are also completely different. Like her priorities are her man, her new friends, brunch, and all these things. You're trying to get a business together, so even that conversation is really not going to to gel like that. So I think like grieve that friendship as it was, like that Chicomando friendship, because this chick is not on Chicomando anymore, babes. You get Tabi Mani, that's not her struggle anymore. So grieve that friendship and then build, and maybe at some point you'll be able to rekindle or build a new friendship, like come back together and build a new friendship.
When everything like settles down. Because even her, I think she's still very confused in like this new life she has been introduced to, the guy's world, and you know, the feeling of like, oh my god, like this is the life I wanted. I think you're still
struggling. Like it's Kawa. It's not even in bad faith. Like I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think either of them are bad people. I think they've just she's outgrown a certain part of her life, the friendships that they had. Yes, so now you just have to wait and hope and pray that maybe at some point
life brings you back
together at some point. But different worlds right now.
So thank you guys for joining us on this episode. It's been fun, Bants as always, and have a lovely week, and see you next week.
Remember, it's not therapy, but it might help.
Subscribe, share, like,
everything
all of the
nice.
things.
Everything spice.